what that allowed me to do was make a new channel. And I have to tell you, the reach on this channel is dwarfing this channel. I have gotten thousands upon thousands upon thousands of views on these videos where So yesterday I was scrolling around on Twitter working, and I came across this 4-panel comic. It's actually, well, it became a meme template and it just spread around on Twitter like wildfire. And even the creator of this meme template was like, what is going on? Like, what's happening to this comic? It was pretty funny to watch unfold in real time. And I scrolled past it, bookmarked it, said, I'm going to make some art to this and I'm going to try to reach people with this. I scrolled past it, and right after that tweet was a tweet of 4 pages of someone's manga. Super detailed manga pages with very detailed editing, dynamic composition, all of that jazz. And the amount of attention that that post got was so minuscule compared to the 4-panel comic that I had seen just 1 or 2 tweets earlier, which got hundreds of thousands of likes and, all the social media stuff. And it made me think about something that I had been working towards understanding since I started my own creative journey, making my own comic. And that is, how do you reach people? How do you touch people? How do you make people care about your art online? How do you make a piece of art that someone wants to like, or a comic that someone wants to read? Because honestly, I felt horrible that this person who had drawn these amazing manga pages, which I know how long that it takes, was getting absolutely no viewership, no, internet points for the hard work that they did. And that's when I realized something very important about creativity and about how you have to think when you're creating something that you want people to engage with online. And that is, does what you make invoke some sort of feeling in the person who's consuming the thing that you make? If you look at the 4-panel comic that creator drew, you'll see from an artistic perspective, oh, it's simple, it's, just comic meme line art, and then you compare it to the manga pages and you see all of these detailed, heavy artistic technique being applied here on these pages, and you compare the two artistically, and you might say, well, yeah, this one is just so much more artistically proficient. Why didn't this get the 100,000 likes or whatever? But the key difference between these two is one of them evoked strong reaction and emotion out of people while the other did not. And this is very important for artistic and creative people to understand when it comes to putting your work out there on the internet. If you put something you worked really hard out there with no context, no story, no intentional effort to reach into some emotional, piece of the person who's consuming your art, people will not care. They will just scroll. It doesn't do anything for them. It doesn't give them a reason to stop and look at what you made. Gone are the days where being a fantastic artist was enough to get you looked at online, as much as I'm not a fan of that. Now things have to come with some kind of a story. And that's why something like the 4-panel simple comic would get a lot more attention than, really crazily drawn, amazing manga pages. And how do you take that as a creative person, and how do you apply that to how you approach your creativity? A lot of people may think that this means that you have to start making memes and 4-panel comics, and I don't think that's true at all. I think what this means, and what it gives me an indication of, is that people more than ever are craving some kind of connection. They're craving an emotional resonance, whether that's through comedy, through sadness or happiness. They're craving emotional resonance right now. And as a creative person, as a storyteller, my job is to tell stories, and to tell stories that emotionally resonate. And if you, in your head, while you're making something, think about, how is this piece that I'm creating, how does it resonate emotionally? Some art is just made for personal consumption, and there's no deep meaning to it, and there's no joke there. It's just, I made this and I like it, and here, take a look. But I think when it comes to putting out art that you want, to see some acknowledgement, some recognition, you want people to read or engage with online, the mindset that you have to take here is that, does this thing have any emotional resonance? Can it tap into any sort of feeling or any kind of state of being with the person who's supposed to be consuming this? Now, this thought process completely changed how I approach my own work, my comic yield Treehouse. I originally had this thought that if I put this manga out, I think the art is great. I think it's an interesting fantasy story with great characters. Who doesn't like female leads? I love female leads. So this is definitely going to do well. And at first I was very resistant to the idea that I need to market beyond what I made. I know many of us just absolutely hate the marketing word and just the idea that we make these things that take so much time, and yet we must do more. We have to post 50,000 times on these 50,000 apps. And I was one of those people that had that thought. But after I kind of internalized this idea of emotional resonance and the mindset that comes with that, I started to realize these people don't know anything about my story. They don't know anything about my characters. They are completely contextless. I can't assume that they're going to give me the benefit of the doubt and read my amazing story and immediately like it. I need to somehow connect with them on an emotional level and help them see why this story may resonate with them. And what this meant for me in practice was it completely changed how I approached the marketing aspect of my work. Rather than saying, okay, I'm going to just, make some tweets about, certain pages from my comic. I'm going to, jump on whatever trending meme template is out there. Rather than doing that, I said, I need to give people the experience that I think they're going to get when they read my comic. I need to give them that. And what that meant for me was, instead of just showing artwork from my manga, I need to give them the story. I need to give them the parts of the story that I feel can emotionally resonate. And what's the best way for me to do that? I found was making animatics. And for those of you that don't know, animatics is basically one stage before an animation. So it's very low amount of frames that basically get the general gist of the animation, but not the full blown 50 frames per, a couple seconds types of animation. So for me, this was a great way to give emotional resonance because my characters now move. They now are reacting to sounds and telling jokes or doing sad things. And what that allowed me to do was make a new channel. And I have to tell you, the reach on this channel is dwarfing this channel. I have gotten thousands upon thousands upon thousands of views on these videos where I'm giving people some part of my characters that connect emotionally, that have some sort of emotional resonance. And I think if you think about how whatever the thing that you're making, whatever it is, be it, a singular illustration or a comic, how can you make something that can resonate with people emotionally beyond just looking pretty? People are really craving that emotional connection, and they're really craving the resonance. They want a story. I used to hear a lot of YouTube gurus use this storytelling word to explain how to write YouTube scripts and how to make great YouTube videos. And it annoyed me because I'm well, I'm a writer. Why am I so bad at storytelling on YouTube videos? Why do I not get this? And, perhaps it's that the way I was framing my stories, I wasn't reaching the right people. I wasn't resonating emotionally with the people who I need to resonate with. And if you think about the emotional resonance in terms of creativity, it'll really change how you approach not only making your art, making whatever the thing is, it'll change how you go about sharing that with others.